Elena, let me expand a little bit on education. Another reform that they did during the government of Mr. Fujimori, they allowed education for profit.
Yes.
Okay, so this problem, this
private education.
Exactly. So something is curious is going on right now. If you take not the higher income districts in Lima, but the others, no, that surround Lima, 80% of the education is already private.
Do you know what is interesting, Manuel? When I was also working here with you guys, I had noticed that the work of privatization de facto had happened.
Exactly.
Because in reality, the government was there, but was really not serving anybody. So when I was going to the provinces to check out what's happening with the teachers and the level of education and so on, the parents' associations of the villages had actually would get together and collect money to pay extra the teacher, because the teacher was only showing up once a month, and during the remaining of his time he was doing another profession to make up for the not very high salary he was making. So they were paying for that extra for him to stay and teach. But of course, that was an inefficient manner, unregulated if you wish, of privatizing. And in a way, I may say that the reforms of the 90s, if I may say, brought to equilibrium, if you wish, what was already happening in bits and pieces in the country. But what would you prefer now to see for Peru?
Well, I think that education and judiciary system has to be changed, but furthermore, I think that there is one thing that you always write about it, is the labor market. I think that the informality in this country is very high still, because of barriers to entry to the formal market, and that is very rigid system of labor market still.
Well, that's something that you have also in some places, like this reform.
I mean, because of all these informal people do not have any insurance, do not have medical care. A lot of people, the retirement, things like that are really, and those who are against it are the unions, because they are a small people,
smaller
group.
Well, unions are very, very small in Peru, but in general, you could say that we have strong social, we have legislated very favorable rules for workers, but for a small part of those workers, and costs are very high. So the take-home pay is just a portion of what is the actual pay for cost for the company.
So you do have still a lot of dead weight cost on the labor.
A lot of dead weight, and the thing is, people that are in the informal sector can very easily weigh the advantages of going formal or stay in the informality. And if the costs of formality are higher than the benefits, it'll be difficult to make good strides.
We did some sort of pilot program with the agriculture sector.
That was a great thing.
And this law still exists, and the agriculture sector was like this.
And wages.
We have full employment in some of the regions where we applied that law.
What was that law about?
Well, it actually made hiring and firing more flexible, and
in the agricultural industry.
In the agricultural, and you could have contracts, seasonal contracts. In fact, that has raised, I would say, by 7 times the wage.
This has raised the wage by 7 times.
I think you cannot find workers anymore in many regions of the country.
I have agriculture company in Ica, and we don't find workers easily because they're full.
Ica is the southern part of Peru that is looking very Mediterranean.
And also, another reform that I think that we need to do is about the water system. The water system in many of the provinces of Peru, state-owned companies are running the water system, no? So all of these state-owned companies are really very inefficient. You know, they are losing water, they are losing money. We have to privatize all of this. This is what we will.
This is an interesting point. So I would like to first of all to say that this seems to me very. I've learned a lot of things. Although I thought I knew quite a lot, I still learn more, and it's really beneficial for the most. You know, we cannot do in Greece what we used to do here and in other Latin American countries. These, you know, impactuous workshops of very high level people. Exactly because it's, first of all, very expensive to bring them in and do the workshops that we used to do with you guys. And also because, frankly, I don't think there is an appetite for change throughout the whole system yet. There is an appetite for change in the political level, and the language for change is there. There is a lot of change that's happening from the side of the Ministry of Finance, but there is not yet that simmering that you were talking about. Unfortunately, takes time. However, and this is the objective of Thought for Action and the objective of our foundation, is to bring as much as possible from the horse's mouth to the well-educated middle class of Greece, because Greece has a distinct problem from Peru. We did have a middle class that is vanishing. We are not growing, yet we do see a very big split between those who have and those who don't have. We are shrinking and we're going backwards more to where you used to be. Therefore, I would like to now invite you to, we will put this as a video on our internet, and then we will distribute it also to the international media. So questions that may come in writing on our blog, maybe you wish to be engaged in responding occasionally, if you wish.
Of course.
And maybe we can invite you in our beautiful, it's still a beautiful country, it's magical, no matter, exactly, no matter what bad happens in Greece, it is Greece. It's a beautiful Hellas, it's an extraordinarily happy place to be. I'm there for the last 4 years and I'm very happy to be there. And I would like, in that note, to thank you profoundly for your time. Thank you not only for your time, thank you for your generosity in being such great human individuals that engaged in the betterness of your own people. There is nothing more beautiful than that. And thank you for wanting to share that with us.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you for sharing it. And we will like to thank you very much for being with us and engaging in this rather exciting 1-hour conversation. And please do ask us many questions as you wish in our little blog, thoughtforaction.org, or Thought for Action on our Facebook. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.